variable, you should understand the role of the variable, you should understand origin of the data, and you should understand if you have any extra information, if you are deriving it or with any extra information, you should understand that information too knows. So these are the 8 things you should understand for each and every variable. Clear everybody? For each next 20 or 30 domains we are discussing, for each and every domain you have to discuss all the important concepts. Now, in today's class I'm going to start discussing about whatever I told you, we are going to discuss about the DM domain. Now, tell me, the DM domain comes under which class? It comes under, do you know which class? It comes under special purpose.
Special purpose.
It comes under special purpose. And what is the name of the domain that we are discussing? The name of the domain that we are discussing is DM.
DM.
Okay, so Chinese, if you are writing a DM, why it is coming in the blue color? Anybody? In this as we can write a statement called DM statement. At the end of the DM demographic data set, I will tell you what is the DM statement. So start thinking this is the statement. That's why it is showing in a blue color. Okay, do not worry about that one. I will discuss about the DM statement later. So the name of the domain is the DM, and what is the label of the domain? The label of the domain is going to be demographics. And by the way, each and every data set should have a label, and this label also must be less than or equal to only 40 characters, and it should be in the properties. So the label of this one is demographics. And what is the topic variable? You know, each and every data set or domain, we are going to have one topic variable. We are going to have only one topic variable. And I told you what is the topic variable? Topic variable is the main focus of that observation. So the topic variable of the DM data set is SUBJ which is nothing but subject and very, very important. In the interview, they will ask you any one domain, and they will ask you, can you tell me the topic variable of that domain? So the topic variable of DM data set is subject ID. What is the variable is SUBJ ID. Right. SUBJ is nothing but subject ID. Now, what is the structure of this domain? Structure is also very, very important. The structure is going to be one record per subject. So what do you mean by one record per subject? Say for example, in our clinical study, say for example, in phase 2 study, in our study, there are 675 subjects. Okay. Since we have 675 subjects, each subject is going to have one record in the DM data set. That means how many observations we are going to have in the DM data set now? In the DM data set, we are going to have 675 observations. Because the structure of the DM data set is one record per subject. And it means that ఎంత మంది subjects ఉంటే ఒక్కొక్క subject కి ఒక్కొక్క record ఉండాలి. How many subjects we have? Those many records or observations we are going to have. If the study contains 500 subjects, now how many observations we are going to have in the DM data set now? 500.
500 observations.
If the study contains only 100 subjects, then we are going to have 100 observations. So each subject is going to have one record. That's why the structure is one record per subject. And then the purpose. The purpose is not only integrate. The purpose of any data set or domain in a SDM is tabulation. That means I want to put all the data in a tabular format. I want to submit the data in a tabular format. So the purpose is tabulation. And then the location. You know, once you have created a DM data set, how we are going to store this data set and how we are going to submit this data set. How we are going to submit the data set? We always submit this data set in .xpt file format. So suppose at the end of the program, I'm going to store my data set in dm.xpt. XPT is a type of file which is called transport file. It is easy to transport and it is compatible for all types of versions. So that's why series specifically asks us, please submit the data set in .xpt file. Don't submit it as a SAS data set, submit it as a .xpt. Again, at the end of the GDM, I will tell you how to convert a SAS data set or SAS format catalog folder, how to convert that into .xpt file. And again, I will show you how to convert again .xpt into SAS data set. So the class of the DM data is a special purpose. The name of the domain that we are discussing is the DM, and the label of the domain is demographics. The topic variable is subject ID, and the structure is one record per subject. The purpose is tabulation, and the location is dm.xpt. After all the GDM got over, we are going to convert each and every data set or domain into .xpt and we'll submit in .xpt format. Now, we are going to discuss about each variable in the DM data set or DM domain. Okay, when I'm discussing about each and every variable, we should discuss these important 8 attributes. Okay, very good. Now, the first variable that we are going to discuss in today's class is STUDY study ID, and the variable name must be uppercase. What is the variable name that we have? Study ID. So the variable name is study ID, and the label of this variable is study identifier. What is the label? Study identifier. I told you study identifier is the label which should be less than or equal to 40 characters. And what it is? It is a character variable, and it is a required variable. You know what you mean by required variable? 100% you should have this variable in the DM data set, and you should not have any missing value in it. That is mean by required variable, right? 100% a variable ఉండాలంటే అందులో కంపల్సరీగా value ఉండాలి. ఎలాంటి మిస్, you should not have a missing value. Understand this one? No. So then it is a identifier variable. It comes under which role? Which classification? It comes under identifier variable. It is an identifier variable. Okay, now each and every study is going to have ID. Whatever the ID that we have, that we are going to capture into study ID. From where we get this information, we are going to get this information from the protocol. So the origin of the data is protocol. In the protocol first phase, we are going to have the study ID, and that ID we are going to put in study ID variable. Understand this for everybody? So we don't require any format. Whatever information that we have in the protocol, that we are going to capture. So I know my study ID is 523, now that is going to be study ID. So according to the variable that we have on first page, we can find this information. Now, once you are done with the study ID, the second variable is going to be domain. The second variable is going to be domain. What is this domain? The label of this variable is domain abbreviation. That is that one, domain abbreviation. And this is also character variable. This is also required variable, and this is also identifier variable. I told you in the last class what do you mean by identifier variable? By seeing the value, we can identify what domain it is, or what study it is, who is the subject. So those variables comes under identifier variables. So domain comes under identifier variables. Now what information that you are going to keep here? I told you. Since what is this domain by the way? This domain is DM domain. That's why in the DM domain, what value we are going to have? We are going to have value just in the 2-letter DM. Understand this one? So from how do you know that we should keep the DM? This information we can find in the control terminology. Sponsor is going to provide the control terminology. According to the control terminology, I'm going to keep capital letters DM. And generally, the length of this variable is going to be only 2 characters, because always the domain name is going to be 2 letters. So we are going to put that only 2 letters. The length is going to be only 2. and it is a character variable, and this is a required variable. Understand this, everybody? Now, once you're done with the domain, and then the third variable is going to be USUBJID. Now, what do you mean by USUBJID? USUBJID stands for Unique Subject Identifier. So the label is Unique Subject Identifier. And what is this unique subject ID? What do you mean by unique subject identifier? You know, unique subject identifier is a character variable, by the way. It is a character variable, and it is a required variable, and it is an identifier variable. It is an identifier variable. So this character variable, required variable, and identifier variable. What is this USUBJ? Very, very important. If you derive today in the DM domain, we are going to keep the same use subject ID across all the domains for the subject. So use subject is going to be a concatenated product of how we are going to generate the use subject ID. Use subject ID is a concatenated product of study ID, okay, and then site ID, and then SUBJ ID. By concatenating all the three values, we are going to generate a new code, and that is called as a use subject ID. Say for example, I'm going to tell you. So in this study, I have a study ID variable, and my study ID is, say for example, ABC123, and I have a site ID, and the site ID is, say for example, 01, and then I have a subject ID SUBJ ID, and the subject ID is 101. Okay, and we have three values: study ID, site ID, subject ID. You know what we should do? If you have these three values, now we have to generate a new variable called USUBID, which means a unique subject identifier. And what value should you have in this? You should have capital ABC 123 hyphen symbol 01 hyphen symbol 101. Now, can somebody tell me what is the SAS program you should write to get this value? Can somebody tell me what the SAS program I should write?
Study ID double pipe symbol with inverted commas hyphen again double pipe symbol 01
then inverted commas hyphen
inverted commas hyphen double pipe symbol
101.
Strip function.
Why we should use the function?
To remove the leading and trailing spaces.
Where we have to remove the leading and trailing spaces before concatenation. First we need to separate, and then we should use the double pipe symbol. Now instead of the double pipe symbol, can you tell me any other method?
Static.
What is the syntax for static function? Can we operate the program static function? Static of hyphen symbol, comma, and you should write the site ID, then site ID, but what is the problem with the static function? The length is going to become 200. The length is going to become 200. If you do not require that, if you do not want to have length, then what we should do? Now we should write double pipe symbol, then what we should write? And again double pipe symbol. Okay, now the double pipe symbol. Sorry, we should write the double pipe symbol. And again, what we should write? With the locations of pipe symbol. Then what we should write now? With password SUBJ. This is what I told you during the whatever base classes. This is what we have discussed. But I told you in some studies, the sponsor will ask you instead of hyphen symbol, what we need to give? Forward slash. It depends on the sponsor. Sometimes he may ask you the forward slash. And sometimes use subject ID is a concatenated product of only site ID, only study ID and the subject ID also. Sometimes they will skip the site ID. If the trial is conducting in only one site, then they will not ask you for the site ID. So, but in general, in most of the cases, what is the use subject ID? Use subject ID is a concatenated product of study ID, site ID, subject ID, separated by
Forward slash
hyphen symbol or forward slash symbol. And why we should require use subject ID? Remember, today here in Hyderabad, this is for example, I'm conducting the clinical trial on a drug called XYZ01. This is my drug name. And today is the phase 1 study in Hyderabad we are conducting. Now, one subject involved. So since the subject has been involved, I have derived a identification number for the subject. We call it as a subject ID, and I have given the subject ID as 101. Okay, the same subject. When they're conducting another study on the same drug, so this time I'm conducting the phase 2 study, and again the same subject involved. But this time, since it's involved again, I'm going to give one more ID called this time 201. So that means the same subject is having two IDs for the one drug. You should not have multiple IDs for one subject in different studies of the same drug. So to identify a subject across all the studies for the applications or submissions involving the same product, we should have a unique identification number. And it has to be a concatenated product, compound product of what three variables? Study ID, site ID, and then the subject ID. You should not have any ambiguity or confusion. One subject should not have a multiple IDs. So to avoid such like an ambiguity or confusion, we are going to create a unique subject identifier. The same unique subject identifier we are going to use it across all the submissions or all the applications of submissions involving for that product. Understand this, everybody? Very, very important. If you derive use subject ID today in the DM domain, for the whole clinical trial, we are going to use the same use subject ID. From today onwards, each and every domain is going to have a use subject ID. Okay, now once you're done with the use subject ID, the next variable, the fourth variable that we are going to have is SUBJ ID. Subject identifier. Subject identifier for the study.
Excuse me.
Yes.
The site ID ఒకసారి అవుతుంది లేదన్నారు అంటే ఆల్ మొత్తం టోటల్ స్టడీ ఒక సైడ్ లోనే జరుగుతుంది.
Sometimes it will be multi-center. If it is a phase 2 or phase 3, we are going to conduct a clinical trial in, I conduct a clinical in Hyderabad and maybe in Delhi names or in like in New York or like in California or like say for example Sydney. I conduct the same clinical trial in different countries, different hospitals. Each time we are going to call it from one side. So that's most of the clinical studies are multi-center.
మల్టీ సెంటర్ ఉన్నప్పుడు సైట్ ఐడి పర్టికులర్ గా తీసుకోవాలి.
You have to mention it. Yes, sir. But if I identify in Hyderabad NIMS hospital, I have given site ID, say for example 01. Now we are going to have ABC123 09110. So when I conduct the clinical in Chennai, for Chennai Apollo hospital, I have given 02. Then it is going to be 02.
ఓకే అప్పుడు యూజ్ సబ్జెక్ట్ ఐడి మారుతూ ఉంటుంది సార్.
No, this is 101 of the. So this is for him. It is unique.
ఓన్లీ సైట్ ఐడి.
For example, I have one more use subject like this one. I have ABC 123. Sorry, I'm having like this one. ABC 123 -01 -101. What does it mean? This 101 is not this 101. This 101 in this side. This 101 is in this side. Both are different. Okay. the fourth variable is going to be SUBJD. What do you mean by SUBJD? Subject identifier for the study. And by the way, and what is this variable? This is, I told you in the start, remember, this is the topic variable. What is this? It is the topic variable. Okay, and then it is a character variable, and since it is a topic variable, it is a required variable. Obviously, you should have this variable, and you should have a value sheet. Where we can find this information? Generally, subject study, we can find this information on the CRF sheet. And by the way, what is the origin of the subject study? What is the origin? We are going to, as a SAS programmer, no, we are going to derive it. Because you will not find the only the CRF sheet, you can find only side, and you can find the subject study. So we are going to concatenate it. As a SAS programmer, we are going to derive it. Understand? Now, subject study, the origin of the subject study is from the CRF sheet. On the CRF sheet, we can find that information. So this is the topic variable. Understand this, everybody? So if somebody asks you what is the topic variable of the DM dataset, what are you going to say? Topic variable, SUBJID, subject ID. You have to by heart no other choice. When I'm going to complete the DM dataset, we are going to have 32 or 33 variables. You have to by heart all the variables, no other choice. There is no logic here. Guidelines means guidelines. You have to read it. Now, the next two variables that we are going. Now, say for example, this is my clinical trial. I'm giving the time frame of my clinical trial. Okay, now the RFE and DTC. Okay, now say for example, this is my clinical trial. I'm giving the time frame of my clinical trial. Okay, now I have given the public notice on in December month. And as to give whoever interested in the clinical trial, please come on 2nd of January. You can enroll yourself. So whoever interested in the clinical trial, so they came on the 2nd of January and they enrolled by themselves and they have given the informal consent. So they enrolled on 2nd of January and then they have given informal consent. Then I took the samples and like I asked them, please everybody come on the 5th of January. Now I'm going to announce the eligibility. So on 5th of, say for example, on the 2nd of January, say for example, 1,000 patients came and they enrolled by themselves. On 2nd of January, I announced the result and only 700 members have been eligible for my study. I announced the result and I told them all the whoever been eligible for my study. I told them you have been eligible for my study. Now please come on 20th of January. I'm going to start the treatment. Now I told you once eligibility has been confirmed.
Here the 700 members can be taken as inclusion criteria, sir.
Yes, based on inclusion exclusion criteria.
Okay. Based on inclusion exclusion criteria, we will select the 700 members out of 1,000.
Yes, we have screened. So and then based on that we confirm the eligibility of 700 people. Now I told them you have.
2nd January it comes under informed consent date, sir. Here 5th January comes under inclusion exclusion criteria. Then which day comes under screen?
No, 2nd January I took informal consent, informal consent. Then I took the samples and then this is the whole. Now it is called screening time, screening period. Okay, this is called screening period. And when I announced the result, 5th of January. Once I announced the result for the next moment onwards, now which pay period they are in, then in the running period. Okay, now I told them everybody please come on 20th of January. I'm going to start the treatment. So I did the randomization on 20th of January. For some subjects I have given the drug A, some. Once informal consent submitted, and when we have confirmed the eligibility between these two, this is called as a screening period.
Okay.
And once you confirm the eligibility, and when up to the treatment started, this comes under running.
Okay. 2nd January by itself, we can consider it as IC, sir, RF IC.
Informal consent date, when I have given signed the informal consent, that is going to the informal consent is not a period, it is just a time point.
Time, it is just a date.
Yes.
If during the study, if you require informal consent, we shall take.
No, see, your informal consent will be the first date. If you have informal consent rather than treatment started, the screening date, that is a big crime. Okay, first you should take informal consent, then only you should start the screening procedure.
Okay. Here, no issue. The informal consent date is less than screening date. Here.
It has to be less than screening date.
Okay, okay.
The consent rather than treatment started, the screening date, that is a big crime. Okay, first you should take informal consent, then only you should start the screening procedure.
Okay. Here, no issue. The informal consent date is less than screening date. Here.
It has to be less than screening date.
Okay, okay. After taking informal consent only, we have to start any.
You should start the screening. Anything you should start only after informal consent date and time.
Okay.
Okay, now I started the treatment on 20th of January. Okay, so according to my study protocol, every day the subject is going to take one tablet in the afternoon, one tablet should take in the night after the dinner. So according to my study protocol, the subject should take the treatment for 90 days. So it is going to be 20th of January to 20th of February is going to be 30 days. To 20th of March is going to be 60 days. 20th of April is going to be say approximately 90 days. So I started the treatment on 20th of January, and when I'm going to stop the treatment, I'm going to stop the treatment on 20th of April. Now this is the last dose taken. After 20th of April, there will be no further treatment. But can you tell me, in this clinical study, in this example study, when did they start the treatment? Anybody? 20th of January to February. So now remember, whenever we have started the treatment, whenever and what date we have started the treatment, and that date we call the name RF STETC. Understand it? RF STETC, subject reference, start date and time in character data. So now when we have given the last dose, pardon?
So this is the date when first dose was given.
Given first treatment dose that we have given.
Okay.
Now when we have given the last dose of the treatment,
20th of April.
on the 20th of April, there will be no study medication, study treatment. So when we have given the last dose of the treatment, and that date we call the name RF ENBTC. Very, very important. Once you have derived RF facility, that's the whole clinical trial. We are going to consider this one as an RF facility. What is RF facility, by the way? This is called subject reference, start date, and time in character data. In which data? In character data. By the way, it has to be in ISO 8601 format. ISO 8601 format. And what is this RF entity say? RF is nothing but subject, reference, end, date, and time in character data. And this is also must be in what format? What the format you should follow? You should follow ISO 8601 format. It is a mandatory. You should follow only that format.
Sir, and in only uppercase.
Which one?
This one in character.
No, variable names are uppercase. What are these?
Subject.
Labels. Labels, right? Variable labels. Labels should be uppercase.
Okay.
This is variable name, this is the label, and this is the format. And by the way, both are what type? This is also character variable, and this is also character.
Right.
Okay, but what format is you follow in both the cases? ISO, DSX, one format. And by the way, both the variables are expected variables. What is an expected variables?
The variable should be listing the expected.
You know, why these are required variables? You know, if anybody get involved in the study, they should take the treatment, right? They are present only to take the treatment. Why not they are required variables? Why only these are the final expected variables?
Maybe
So for example, I'll get the story. Say for example, there is a subject called 101. Okay, and he is very much interested in the clinical trial. So he needs to sign the informed consent. So he involves the screening procedure, and you know, he is eligible for the study. And I have given eligibility, and I told him, please come on 20th of January, I'm going to give the treatment. But because of some other reason, he didn't come for the treatment at all. He didn't come for the treatment. But he completed the screening, and he entered into the running, but suddenly stopped. Since he has signed the informed consent, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a record in the DM dataset. I should make a record of the record. Since he's signed the informed consent, he has completed the screening procedure, we are going to have a record. But since he didn't come for a treatment, so we are going to have a treatment started missing back. Because he didn't take the treatment. So that means there is a chance of having missing values of RFS and DTC. But if the treatment started in then only, do we have a chance to have a treatment ended? No. That's why these two variables are expected variables, but not required variables. Understand this one, everybody? And by the way, both are going to have a tagging information, right? These two comes under which role? Role, not type. These two should come under tagging variables, right? Role. It should come under tagging variable, right? Yes. What information we are going to have in CTC? We are going to have a data type. Remember, when we are discussing about the role of the variable, we have the identifier variable, topic variable, and what is the formulas we have seen? Tagging variable. What information we are going to have? We are going to have 20th of January 2023. We are going to have 20th of April 2023. Actually, we are going to have a tagging information. But remember one thing very important, even though we have a tagging information, in RFS and RFS, we are not going to consider these variables as tagging variables. So we consider these variables only as a record qualifiers. Now in the interview, they are going to ask you the question. You know, in RFS and RFS, we are going to have a tagging information, but these are not tagging variables. Why? So we collect the tagging information. We do not use these variables to calculate, you know, what you call as initialization. We don't use it for tagging purpose. That's why these two variables, those are tagging variables. Tagging information contains, we are going to consider the only record qualifiers. Remember, in qualifier variable we have 5 subclasses: grouping qualifier, variable qualifier, server qualifier, result qualifier, and record qualifier. So these are record qualifiers. Clear, everybody? Now, before SGM IC 3.2 version, we used to have only these two variables, RF and DTC, RF and DTC. Now, forget about these two variables. Now we have a new concept. Okay. Now I'm going to write the new concept here. Say for example, this is best time. Okay. Now I'm taking the same date information here. So I have asked everyone, please sign the informed consent of the 2nd of January, and I'm telling 2nd of January is what? This is the enrollment date, and that is the starting of the screening procedure. And I have confirmed eligibility on 5th. So from the 2nd January to 5th January, that is the screening period. Now I announced that the eligibility on 5th of January, and I told you we have been eligible for a study. Okay. Now we have to wait up to 20th of January. So I'm going to start the treatment on 20th of January. And I told everybody day, each and every day should take the 2 tablets, and you have to take the treatment up to, say for example, 20th of March, because the study is a 90-day study. Okay. Now, so after that, I told them like, please come again one more time on 30th of April, because I want to check how you are doing. Now, so now what we call it? Now this period is called as a screening period. Right? Screening period, and this period is called what? This is called as an running period. And what is this? This is called as a treatment period. And what it is called after the last dose, before the last of getting, so we call it as a follow-up period. This is my study. Okay. Now we have a new setup now. I told you in just a few minutes back, 20th of January comes under which variable? And I told you 20th of April is going to come into which variable? But now, we have 2 more new variables. You know, from now onwards, whenever we start the treatment, and the treatment start date, now we are going to call it as RFX STDTC. Okay. What is RFX STDTC? It is the date and time of first study treatment. What is one? This is date or time of first study treatment. And each study of first treatment is running. And what did you have taken the first in the treatment? 20th of January. So that comes under what variable? RFX STDTC. Now in the study, whenever we have taken the last dose of the treatment, now that is called as the name RFX VNDTC. And what is this? This is the date and time of what is this one? Last study treatment. Date, time of last study treatment. Okay? Understand now? Now, if it is not an oncology study, remember, if it is not an oncology study, now the same 20th of January is also called as the name RFSTDTC. And whatever the RFSTDTC is also called as the name RFVNDTC. Now tell me what is RFSTDTC? RFSTDTC is nothing but a subject reference. What is that one? Reference start date. Remember, if it is not an oncology study, what is RFSTDTC? RFSTDTC, RFXSTDTC, both are same. And now in the same way, if it is not an oncology study, RFXENDTC equal to RFVNDTC. Understand this, everybody? No confusion, right? Very, very important. Out of 10 students, 9 students are going to get this question. What is the difference between RFXSTDTC and RFSTDTC? If it is not an oncology study, both RFXSTDTC, RFSTDTC are same. Both are just a treatment started. Now, if it is not an oncology study, both RFXENDTC, RFENDTC are same. But what if it is an oncology study? You know, in oncology study, before the starting of the actual treatment, we are going to prepare the subject for the treatment. That is not an actual treatment, but we are going to make the subject ready for the treatment. Now, whenever you are starting your study treatment, that is always RF-HCDTC. But now RF-HCDTC, anything can be before the treatment. It can be randomization date, or it can be screening date, or any date that is before treatment started. Now, what is RF-NDTC? In oncology study, RF-NDTC may be any date after the treatment ended. It can be any date in between, or it can be a follow-up date. Understand this one, everybody?
Sir, can you tell this again?
Now, remember, if it is not an oncology study, say for example, respiratory, or a diabetic, or a central nervous system, or some cardiovascular system, not an oncology study, okay? Both RF-HCDTC and RF-HCDTC are same. What are both? Both are nothing but treatment started. If it is an oncology study, always, even oncology or non-oncology, always, what is RF-HCDTC? RF-HCDTC always treatment started. In oncology study, RF-HCDTC, anything before the treatment started. It can be a randomization date, or it may be a screening date, or some other date, but obviously it is going to be before the treatment started. Okay? Now, if it is not an oncology study, RF-HCNDTC, RF-ENDTC, both are same. But if it is an oncology study, and in fact, any study, RF-HCNDTC always what? Treatment ended.
Treatment ended.
But if it is an oncology study, even oncology study, RF-NDTC, anything after the treatment ended, it can be follow or before the follow.
Sir, ఇప్పుడు study, if it is a not oncology study, then we shall have only one variable, sir. RF-HCDTC and RF-ENDTC.
No, both are, all four variables are expected variables. What do you mean expected variable?
We may not have 100% variable, but we may have.
So, but since it is not oncology, both the RF-HCDTC, RF-XHCDTC is going to have the same values. RF-HCNDTC and it is going to have the same values.
అంటే డొమైన్ లో 2 వేరియబుల్స్ ఉంటాయా సార్? RF-HCDTC, RF-FTDTC.
Yeah, both are expected variables. Usually have the variables.
But same value.
But same value. Since it is not an oncology study, according to study protocol and study specification, so they have mentioned the same thing, so we are going to have the same values.
They're going to have same treatment start date as values, sir.
It's not going to be January 2020 is going to have both in RF-XHCDTC, RF
And RF. Sir, ఇలానే illustrate చేసి చెప్పరా సార్? If oncology study లో RF-HCDTC కి ఏం వాల్యూ వస్తుంది, RF-FTDTC కి ఏం వాల్యూ వస్తుంది?
That's what I already told you. In any study, what is RF-XHCDTC?
Start date.
Always treatment started. Whether it's in oncology or non-oncology, always RF-XHCDTC means treatment started. But if it is not in oncology, RF-XHCDTC is also RF-XHCDTC only. Understand?
If it is oncology, then RF-HCDTC is
Before the treatment started. Not RF-XHCDTC, it can be before the RF-XHCDTC, before the treatment started.
means
It can be randomization, or it can be screening, or some other date, but obviously it is going to be before the treatment.
then what date shall we take, sir, in
It can
RF-HCDTC?
be randomization date, or some other date. That information we are going to mention in the specification.
Okay, sir.
Whether it is going to be randomization date, or some other date. Yes.
What about the treatment started and will get in which domain?
In all the domains, we are going to have RF-XHCDTC, RF-XHCDTC. Now see, say for example, if it is not an oncology study, right? Now I am going to have what variables we are going to have. We are going to have a study ID.